Welcome back, fantasy people, to another podcast of the Rookie and the Pro. And we just wrapped up week 6.
Week 6 indeed. And
And we both came out with a win this week,
we
correct?
did, yes.
Yeah.
I think last week I was predicting I might actually lose this time.
Mm-hmm.
But just eked out because most of my best players are gone right now, or for week 6, because they're either out on bye weeks or they're in IR. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh no, I might be actually in trouble. But I did eke out a win. Still underperformed. I think my original projection, original projection was 103 points, and I
Mm-hmm.
only eked out with 98 points.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I think things were shifting around a bit. It was somewhere around the mid 90s previously. I think last week when we talked about it, it was like mid 90s. And then it ended up going up to 103, kind of worked things out a little bit. And then, yeah, and then a lot of underperforming happened, a little bit of overperforming that kind of evened things out a bit, but just barely because Casey just underperformed just enough to lose to me. So yeah, and I was kind of lucky because he had two players that ended up getting injured and getting out. So no
Oh,
points
damn.
for
Okay.
his tight end and one of his running backs.
Okay.
Rashad White. Is that how you pronounce it?
Rashad. Rashad
Rashad.
White.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then Dallas Goddard. Um,
Goddard.
Goddard. Yes. Those
Yep.
those were the two players that ended up getting injured. So no points, but 4 point difference. So yeah, I was not entirely sure I was gonna win this one, but um, better lucky than good. You know.
Yep.
Better lucky than good. Still a perfect record, 6-0. And Casey was number 2 at, what was it, previously 5 or 4-1, and
Four,
now he's at
four,
4-2.
one. Yep.
And that puts you at number 2 at 5-1.
Yeah, I managed to actually overperform despite Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys just getting their asses handed to them at home in Dallas. He eked out a measly 5.22 points on a projected 18.8 points.
Oh, my
Um,
goodness.
Despite the measly 5 points that I got from Prescott,
Mhm.
thankfully, I was bailed out by Derrick Henry and McLaurin from Washington. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver. Um, McLaurin got me 20 points, and Derrick Henry got me 25 points. So that was kind of my studs, um, along with Chris Boswell, my kicker, hitting up 17 points with
Wow,
Pittsburgh.
that's
Yeah.
impressive. For a kicker,
So
I
he
mean,
he
it's a
came
lot.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came through. Um, Trey Sermon, the Indianapolis running back, didn't even score a full 3 points for me. He was my flex. Just kind of got put into a bad spot with Jonathan Taylor getting listed as inactive right before the early morning slate of games and everything. So that was kind of tough to rebound from. But
Hmm.
overall, I was projected 101, and I scored 112. However, like the person I was playing against, they were projected 87 and they ended up scoring 100. So
So
very
overperforming on both ends, but
yeah, on both ends, him more so than me, but either way, I still managed to find a way to win, and I will definitely take that. So now I get to ride into week 6 here, uh, in second place, moving up one spot, um, against the seventh place team. And right now, projections are not looking good for me.
okay.
Right now, I'm projected at 76 points.
Ooh.
However, I am waiting to claim a quarterback off the waiver wire, so that'll help me a little bit. Um, Trey Sermon's still in my flex. I'll have to look and just watch
Yeah, it looks like
who's
he's
coming
projected
back.
for. It looks like he's projected for 2 points.
Yeah,
That might
and so
be.
it really depends on like what like who's going to be coming back.
Mhm.
Jerome Ford, I don't know if he's just injured because he's projected at 0 points despite having a questionable tag. I don't know if it's just because he's injured, or if it's because Nick Chubb is getting close to coming back. Um, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is coming back. Hopefully, it was just a one game deal. I'm gonna move JT back up. I mean, worst case scenario, I do have Jordan Addison on my bench that's projected at 10.5 points, so that will work. Um, let's see if that gives me a projected. No. So going back to the matchups, now I'm looking at just shy of 89. So hopefully with the quarterback, that'll get me up over 100, and um,
Then you can get a win.
yeah.
Another win out
Well,
of that.
man, like the guy I want to trade for, I don't even know if he's active. That's the crappy part. But the guy
Mhm.
that has Sam Darnold that I would want to trade for, I'm playing that guy this week. So I
He's not going to
don't,
want to give it to you.
I'm gonna have to see what he really needs or might need that I might be able to flip his way to kind of make it worth it. But um, man, that would be nice if I could get Sam Darnold away from him. He's been doing so good this year.
Can you like flip flop between weeks?
Yeah, so when you're looking when you go to
Like
matchups,
trade players 1 week and then trade back the next week or something?
you could if I mean if you wanted to if you had somebody that actually was like down to swap players and everything,
Hmm.
um, you could do that up till the trade deadline, and then once the trade deadline passes, you can't do nothing. Ooh. Oh,
Yeah.
but what
I gotta get a I gotta get a kicker because my kicker is on. I put in uh, I put in a waiver claim for Dicker.
okay.
Um, but yeah, because my kicker's on bye week this week. So um, but as of right now, we're looking at about 97.2 points, and that's without a kicker. So
Okay.
hopefully that should put me maybe around 105 ish, I think. And Brentwood, who is a number 9 in the league, is projected at 102 points. So I guess we'll see how things go. Definitely have opportunities for overperforming. Um, Unfortunately, like a lot of my wide receivers did not play super well last week. Um, like Brian Thomas Jr., he got me like 4 points. Uh,
He did not do good against that Bears defense at all.
yeah,
Just in general, the Jags did not do good. But they are still out in London. They play again this Sunday in London. 7:30 a.m. my time, so 8:30 your time.
Central.
Yep. So early game. Uh, out there in London and everything will be normal afternoon ish for them and everything. And
Still got him on for this week. Bringing back Deontay Johnson because I think he was questionable, so I pulled him just in case he'd go out. Unfortunately, that wasn't a great idea because he would have gotten me 16 points. Replace him with
yeah,
any of my other wide receivers, and all of my other wide receivers got like far less. Let's see what um, Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yes, he got me 7 points, and then um, Wanda Wandale Robinson.
Yep.
They do have interesting names a lot of times. As my flex, another 7.5 points. So either way, I could have gotten an extra 9 points by replacing any of those at least um, with Deontay Johnson. So
Hmm.
yeah, it is what it is. Took a risk, didn't pay off, but um,
Well,
brought
so
back
they,
Deontay
they
Johnson again.
they do have to announce inactives like 90 minutes before the game.
Mm,
Sometimes you might not find out until an hour before the game, but either way, before, I guess it's noon your time. So by 11 a.m., you should know who's out for the 12 o'clock games, um, and so forth and everything in case you're available to actually kind of monitor it, coming down to the wire and everything. Sometimes it's not always possible, but it
yeah.
it definitely sucks because that's what happened with me with JT. I had him in my starting lineup, and right when they had to announce the inactive, he's listed as out, and I was like, well, now what? You know, and
Hoping
such has been this year.
I'm hoping Nico Collins can come back because he's out in my IR, and he was one of my better players. He was one of my best.
Did they actually put him on IR?
It shows IR in the. It shows he's an injured reserve. So
Well, no. So not like where you placed him,
the
like
little the
how
little red tag, the little red tag
it
is
says
IR.
IR.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so he'll miss a minimum of 4 weeks.
Okay.
That's how that works. So if a team puts a player on IR, they have to be out for a minimum of 4 weeks. And then after that 4 weeks is up, the fifth week they can bring them back to practice if they're healed enough and everything.
Okay.
And then they have a 3 week window to be able to activate them back on the roster and everything.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so last week would have been week one. This week would be week two. Uh,
So I got.
let's see here. Week eight would be week three. Week nine, when you and I play, would be week four. So he will not be available to you when you face off against me to earn your first loss this season.
Yes. That's actually only a couple. Yeah, that's only a couple weeks away at week 9. Dang.
Yeah,
We'll see if I hold out till then.
and that's like
No
right smack
guarantees.
dab in the middle of the season too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that the season's gonna be full go.
It'd be interesting if I only get one loss this year and it's against you. That would be
I mean,
interesting.
it'd be interesting if I only had one loss as well this year, and it came, earlier
Well,
on and everything.
it was like the first week, I think, right?
I think so. I'd have to double check. Let's see.
If I look at week 1
Well,
matchups, yeah, yeah, Michael's
okay.
official team.
Oh
Oh, Mike,
yeah.
Michael is actually he's 10th. He's actually exactly flipped you
He's
because
yeah.
he won the first one and
Oh he
lost every other one afterwards, and you lost the
yeah.
first one and you've won everyone after that.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. He just gave me a beating for the ages to start the season. I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? But like I told you, the first 4 weeks, anything goes. After that, everything starts settling in. And we've kind of seen that. Terry McLaurin has come up, didn't do so well like early on. Now him and the kid from LSU, the quarterback, Jaden Daniels, him and Jaden Daniels now are just clicking on all cylinders. Devonta Smith's been hit and miss. He has missed a couple games from a concussion. Derrick Henry didn't start off terribly hot, but man, is he hitting his stride now. Um, Honestly, I really haven't paid attention to what Josh Jacobs has been doing. Sam Laporta's starting to try to get a little bit more involved. Jonathan Taylor, when healthy, has been solid. Um, and then just Buffalo's D is Buffalo's D. They're kind of hit and miss, but they're usually good for about 4 to 6 points. And Boswell hasn't been too bad as well for a kicker. So,
Yeah. So let's hope this week I can get another overperforming week. I'm honestly just waiting for the underperforming to be just enough that I get my that I get lost.
you're just you're just waiting for like you to have a good lineup and then like everything go wrong. Like just
Yeah,
your
yeah.
quarterback just doesn't do anything that week, and your top guys just kind of leave you hanging and stuff. I've been
I
there.
was kind of on edge on Monday because it was between because at that point between me and Casey, I think I was only like
Hmm.
maybe a couple like a point or so above him, and he had a running back and I had my quarterback, and I was like, if this is a week that Josh Allen doesn't do hardly anything, I'm screwed.
Hmm.
And this could be, or it could be a week where his running back way overperforms and Josh Allen maybe gets like 15 points, a little underperforms a little bit, and then his running back way overperforms, gets like 20 some points. And then, um, I could lose that way as well. And his running back did overperform, going from 11 to 20 points. And Josh Allen just overperformed just a little bit more from 20 points to 24 points. So just eked out just a little bit. It was a very close call, uh, but yeah, it was.
It was a nice
I was.
bounce back game for Josh Allen too.
Yeah,
He
because
he
he
had
was.
done he had done real poorly the last uh couple weeks, and yeah, that was definitely very much needed.
Yeah, he's had some good weeks and some not so great weeks. Last couple 4 and 5 weeks, or the week 4 and 5, he was doing kind of rough, but yeah, came back 24 points, so that's great. Doing better, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some overperforming in this week. That'll be fantastic.
But the good news is they just traded for Amari Cooper. The Bills did today.
Okay.
So he was now Amari Cooper. He's been in the league for a while. He started out with the Raiders,
Okay.
was a superstar over there. Raiders didn't want to pay him and everything. They traded him to Dallas. Dallas paid him. He did really well. Then he started kind of falling off.
Mhm.
Um, and and Dallas had some other receivers that were younger that they rather keep and stuff. So they ended up trading him to the Browns. With the Browns, he hasn't really done a whole lot because the Browns just haven't really had a good quarterback. Deshaun Watson hasn't panned out to be anything. Um, Amari Cooper was a lot better last year when Joe Flacco was quarterback because they had a lot of connections there. So now that he's going to Buffalo and Buffalo doesn't have a clear cut wide receiver one, anybody that drafted Amari Cooper or has Amari Cooper on their roster, I have a feeling he's gonna really take off. He may not be like a massive, but he might be a good weekly flex play or a good wide receiver too. Um, Week in and week out is just my guess because I know what Josh Allen can do with a wide receiver of this caliber. So it'll be interesting.
It looks like Dumptown Rising has him. Let's see, who's he playing this week? He's playing Casey. So
Oh, no kidding.
and he's only projected to get 10 points though. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things
Yeah.
go with him.
Well, I mean that about wraps it up for me and everything. I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to it this week?
Don't think so. No, I
Alrighty.
think we covered all our
Well,
bases here. So
until next week, we will talk again after all the games and see if you can remain undefeated still, and if I can
even come in with a
maintain,
7-0 or
may
go in with a
yeah,
6-1.
right, and see if I can maintain a one-loss season so far and eke out another win. So we
This would
will
be
see.
embarrassing if I didn't lose because it's against the second to worst guy or second to worst team in the league.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll see.
but
That would be
any
a bit
given
embarrassing, but
Sunday,
any given Sunday, honestly,
absolutely.
at any point. So
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later next week then.
all right, ciao.